Today on Project Porsche, it's a plethora of classic Porsches. Behind me is a 1997 Porsche Boxster, and this guy, he's worth about $8,000. But over here, if you're a Porsche file, you'll love this. It's a 1981 Porsche SC, and on the open market, this guy is, well, worth about $30,000. But here, oh my, here we have the Porsche Widowmaker, the 930 Turbo, a 1986, worth around $100,000. And yes, here's our Porsche, the 996. And the question for the day is a simple one. Which one of these cars is faster around the track? Can they beat a $16,000 996? And that is coming up right now on the Fast Lane Car. This 996 is known for two things. Number one, people hate those headlights, those fried egg headlights, but it is the first of the classic 911s that was water-cooled. Paul took this car around the track in 107.9. When it was new, put out around 300 horsepower. Today, your guess is as good as mine, but 107.9, that is the time to beat.
Already feeling more front grip there. That's really nice. When you brake hard, the horn goes off. That's an interesting one.
All right, so there's a time. What do you think your time is?
I would say it was probably a couple seconds quicker.
You got it, look at that.
Oh, there you go.
You know, I can't do this by myself. I need some help. So we've got our Porsche expert, Adam Jaspers, joining us. And Adam brought these cars. Thank you, Adam, from Renstall. And Adam, which of these do you think is the fastest?
You know what, my money's on the 930 today.
All right, and why?
Because you can't argue with horsepower.
But you can't argue with turbo lag. And to my left, come on over, Paul, our new expert driver who's going to be taking these cars around the track. Paul, what car is your money on?
I'm going to agree with Adam. You really can't argue with horsepower. And lightweight, too. It's very light, that car.
All right, I'm still going to go with our 996, which did the lap in a minute 7.9. So that is the time to beat, 107.9. All right, you ready to take him around the track?
Let's do it.
Let's find out. All right, let's start with this Boxster. It's a mid-engine layout, puts out about 197 horsepower. The question is, on a very tight track, does the mid-engine actually benefit? Only one way to find out.
Track. It's super well balanced. Just slides everywhere, just so controllably. That great mid-engine characteristic of the Boxster. Just amazing around here. I think it's going to be pretty quick. Let's see. Here we go. That felt really good. It's fun. You could drive this car all day out here and never get bored. It's got enough power, enough grip, and just amazing balance, so it's just so much fun to drive. Let's see how it did.
All right, what's your time? What's your guess?
I think it's faster than mine. It just has better balance. It just better tires all around.
You are wrong.
Really?
It's slower than yours.
It felt so good.
Here's the time, dude. 109.96.
So about 1 second slower.
Yeah, 1 second slower. So you're 2 seconds from the time of the 996.
Isn't that amazing?
So let's see if that SC can do better.
I can say this thing was just so much fun to drive.
When this SC was new, it produced, well, about 190 horsepower. Today, you know, you can probably subtract a few ponies because it's a pretty old car, 1981. But it is a classic Porsche. It is light, it is nimble, it is fast. So let's see if it's faster than the Boxster.
Definitely, you know, a little bit lazier than the Boxster felt through here, but it still has that great balance, and you're dealing with that manual steering, so it takes a lot more effort to steer the car. I'm glad I'm up close here, but it just drifts beautifully through these corners. You can probably see that, hopefully you can, but the car just has this lovely balance to it, and it has that great 911 trait of coming off the corner like crazy, really putting power down well. 189 horsepower though, it's not a lot, so the car isn't super fast, but it's super fun to drive. Again, it just does everything exactly how you hope a car should do it. And again, a great analog driving experience for this car, you know? Man, you can feel those years from going from a Boxster, a 97 Boxster, so actually quite kind of an old, that was the very first year of the Boxster, and then feeling this as a 1981, just a massive difference in the feel of the car and how refined it is. This is a very raw, very vintage feeling car. The Boxster still feels like a modern car, so that's an important distinction between the cars. Wow, you know what? I don't know where to land with this one. It felt like it was slower to me.
Yeah, well, you were right, it's slower. Here's the time.
There we go, yeah.
We're at 1:11:77, so it's you know, considerably slower.
But a great experience. Again, don't buy it because it's fast or slow. Buy it because you want that feel of an old 911. This certainly has that in spades.
And it looks beautiful on the track. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. It sounds gorgeous. It's classic Porsche.
Yeah, it is. Manual steering.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of effort there. You got to get kind of close to the wheel just to muscle this thing around.
Now for the turbo. We'll
All right.
see. All right.
Woo!
That's the real Widowmaker.
This is going to be good.
In its day, this Porsche 911 Turbo was known as the Widowmaker. It defined snap oversteer. It also put out a tremendous amount of power, anywhere from 100 to 300. I'm kidding. That's because it had tremendous turbo lag, but give or take 300 horsepower. Can this classic 930 be faster than the other two Porsches?
Keeping that turbo on boil. Using a lot of RPMs all the time, having to go between the gears here. For the other cars, I could just leave them. Let's see if it pays off, hopefully, with some lap time. Even when you shift, you get lag from one gear to the next. Unwieldy beast, but it's a beast. Wow, that was fun. So much more work, but so much more rewarding when you get it right too. And a Widowmaker from a handling perspective? Absolutely not. It's a pussycat. There's nothing that hard about the handling on this car. It drives just fine. It has the same handling characteristics as the SC with a little bit more grip and a laggy, more powerful engine. So they just have to balance a little bit more to get that done. I was working so hard I completely lost track of time out there. Wow, look at that.
1:10:62. So now that we know which car is faster on the track, there's still one thing we have to figure out. Which of these three red Porsches is faster in a straight line? All right, gentlemen, I hate to say this, but I was right. The Turbo was not the fastest around the track. But the real question is, which one, Adam, gives you more bang for the buck?
You know, we've talked about it before, and I'll say it again. The Boxster is the best value going in Porsche right now. You can't possibly buy more car for less than 10 grand.
And Paul, how about you?
Totally agree with that, unless you got to have the iconic 911, and then I think 996 is the performance value of the century at the moment.
All right, I agree. Both of these cars are extremely, well, give you a lot of bang for the buck. And the best news, of course, is if you're interested in any of these three red cars, they're for sale. Just check out Adam's website, renstall.usa.com, and this could be yours. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Check out tflcar.com for more news, views, and of course, iconic Porsche classic reviews. See you next time. From the A-pillar forward, these cars are identical. They both have the fried egg headlights. They both have, well, you can see they're almost the same, but it gets very different when you get back here because this is technically a mid-engine car and this, of course, is a rear-engine car. All right, Paul, so I've got the stopwatch, and just to give you kind of some context, I think good time is under a minute 10.
Okay.
A really good time is a minute 5 and faster, and the record is about a minute 3, and that was done in a 911 turbo.
All right.
So, you know, let's see where you come up.
Cool.
Which one do you think will be faster? What's your money on?
Man, I don't. It's really hard to say. I think it's going to be the car that has the most grip, and that might come down to the car that's on the best tires.